Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Rosie S. And of course, we're in the garage, my studio, my beautiful studio. You see the backing, see the cars. Yes, yes, yes. So it's late at night and I have nothing else to do. So I saw that San Jose is facing a deficit, which, you know, all basically almost all cities that have been closed and on lockdown, you know, all states, our country is, falling into a deficit or whatever. Okay, but San Jose is getting $178 million from the CARE Act. Okay, so due to the deficit, of this catastrophe or whatever, the cops, the public safety may be cut. Now, that's an issue for San Jose because I don't know if you remember, but a couple years ago, I would say about 5 or 10 years ago, basically when I first moved, I've been living in San Jose for about 12 years. So when, I would say maybe 2 or 3 years after I moved, something like that, like maybe right after the recession, the 2008 recession, right around either before or after, there was a lot of cops that left the San Jose Police Department because of the pension. I guess the pension was, taking too much money out of the budget or the city budget or something like that. So they cut the pension and a lot of cops left. So I'm assuming, I really haven't heard much about this, but I'm assuming that they reinstated that pension and, they were able to build up the police force to what it needs to be right now. And, I have to say, for some reason, I encounter a lot of cops. Not that they pull me over, which they have. Actually, the last time, because of my tags, I was riding dirty. But one guy, this was near Meridian in Lee, whatever. So once this guy pulled me over, whatever, and it was like, okay, you don't have your tags. I was like, I know. They were like, okay, you got to get him. I was like, okay. Then the second time, the cop was like, didn't I pull you over, a couple months ago? I was like, did you? He was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. He was like, you still don't have your tax? I was like, no. He was like, well, no. I was like, 'cause I ain't got no money. So anyway, I did get my tax or whatever. But, they're young people. And then, I'm very obnoxious in person and very friendly and very loud and, very confident. And, I ask them questions. Where are your face masks? What are you doing? What are you doing with this one or whatever, and they get kind of irritated or whatever. But I'm not going to say all the cops in San Jose know me, but not even some. But there are a group of youngsters that I encounter at least once a month. And if you guys see it, yes, I'm the lady at Taco Mania. I mean, I don't work there or whatever, but that's where you guys saw me or whatever. And I don't harass them, but you know how old people do. But anyway, so I said that all to say that, the cops, to me, they do a pretty good job in San Jose. I mean, I'm not saying there's no crime. Like, it seems like at a certain time on Sunday nights, they're all going towards the east. Like, I'll just see like 20 cars heading east, just at record speeds. And I don't know if they're doing that for fun because I've noticed in the past couple Sunday nights that they have been doing it, but whatever. So, but it happens, they'll just be at top speed, from going from the west to the east on Sunday nights. I don't know. I don't know what happens, but it happens. So anyway, so I mean, they do a pretty okay job. I do remember someone was doing fireworks at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I called, no one answered the PBX, the dispatch thing, pick up. No one picked up. I called 3 times. No one picked up either time. I was like, whoa, they need to hire some more people. And then someone was making noise across the street from where I lived, and I called, and then no one still called back, and they was, like blasting the radio, just blaring it. And it was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, no. So I called back and I was like, well, what is the ETA? And they were like, we can't tell you. So I went back for it. So anyway, I'm saying that to say, to me, the cops in San Jose, I think they're doing a good job. I've never had a problem, but that doesn't mean that it's not a problem. I mean, I know the sheriffs, didn't they kill somebody in the jail a year or two ago? So, but that's the sheriffs, that's not the cops. So I'm saying all this to say they deserve that money. And, okay, let's not discuss the cost of living out here. Like, I think the starting salary here is $89,000. I think I did talk to a cop, and she was like, she can't even afford to live here. She has to live in Gilroy or what's past Gilroy? Some town. But it's like an hour away from here, So $89,000 is not cutting it, not in San Jose. So for them to cut the force doesn't make any sense. Well, what are you getting the money for? What is the $178 million for? Isn't that to maintain the police force, right? I don't get it. Like, well, what is that money for? Like, and another thing, Pelosi, when you allocate this money for, cities, states, and whatever, you must name what is this money going for? Because, they could be given that 178 million and then they give it to the supervisors or, the mayor, they funnel it through something silly and stupid and illegal. I'm not saying that they do that, but I'm saying if you don't allocate, if you don't put this money is for cops, 20 or 30 million of that 178 million is for cops. I don't think they're doing overtime because there's no one out. So they really don't need overtime unless there's a deficit in staff. There's not a lot of staff to control the city. I mean, this is one of the largest cities in California. So that should qualify for some type of additional aid or, something. But I mean, to me, San Jose is pretty much safe. I don't think it's when I first moved here, it was one of the safest cities in the country, one of the best cities in the country. I mean, there's violence, there's killings, everything else, but, as far as the ratio, I don't think it's that high. Like, to me, San Jose is relatively safe. Like, even, I deal with a lot of homeless. I go to a lot of homeless encampments, and, even tonight, so I left my door unlocked, and, some guys, I don't know if they're homeless or whatever, but I was like, listen, don't touch my car. And, the cop was like, we remember you. I know who you are. And I was like, what are you talking about? Because it's, it was dark. I can't remember faces. And I'm really bad on names. But, well, actually, I do remember faces. But, it was dark when I was talking to him. And I messed to so many people. But he was like, yeah, you were telling us about how we need to get our stimulus check. I was like, oh, okay. And actually, I did tell one guy, well, I guess I was telling them, and, some others overheard me. And one guy took the information that I was telling them about, looked it up, got his $1,200, got his $10,000 SBA loan, and got a hotel room. So that makes me really happy to know that my obnoxiousness and, my, how could I say this? My erratic speech and, voice for his talk, whatever, someone benefit from it. So let me pop my collar or whatever. But let's get back to the police thing. So 178 million, no one can do add and subtract. I mean, like, the police force should always be funded. First, children in foster care, disabled children, then police. Yes. Children have got to be protected. And we need police to fund police to protect them. But also, when I told the kids, the police officers, you guys need to wear masks. And I need to call the police chief about that. They need masks. Because a lot of times I see them and they don't have their masks on. And actually, I saw this meme where they were trying to arrest a lady for her not wearing a mask. Those police. It wasn't in San Jose. but they didn't have on their mask. So it's like, well, how can you arrest someone for not wearing a mask when you're not wearing a mask? You guys see what I'm saying? So, I know it's like, not even for hospitals, you know how you have to take off your mask for every patient that you encounter. Now, I don't know if you have to do that for police. Like, well, I don't know how many people they deal with. So, see, I don't know. But I know that they should be wearing their masks. If they're not in their cars, they should be wearing their masks. But the kids, they're cool. I mean, they're not kids, they're police officers. They're younger than me or whatever, so whatever. No, but that 178 million, at least 20 million need to be advocated for police. Or what? I don't know. You know what? I need to research what's the budget, the annual budget for the police force. Oh yeah, I guess it will be. A lot of services may be cut because there's no taxes coming in because people were out of business. There's a lot of tech companies here, but I don't know. Or are they in business? I mean, I know everything is done online, but, like Elon Musk, he's like, look, you guys, I need to get back to work. I got money to be making. These cars are pre-sold. I'm sure people would understand, but still, there's money that has to be made, and I get that, but people are still dying.